Okay, I think we're live. Hello, everybody. Yeah, another live stream after a week off, a week's hiatus. Apologies. I did explain at the end of the last stream that there wouldn't be one last Sunday, but then even then, I think still people were somewhat a bit confused about that, basically. So apologies if that was you. But yeah, we're back today with another Sunday night Doctor Who promo pick stream. I had a couple of people sort of asking me today in various places, like, if this was going to be happening tonight. And so I kind of thought to myself, well, yeah, I've got to do it. I was sort of thinking to myself, with the figure collection video having gone out today, do I want to do another stream so soon? And then I was sort of like, yeah, you know what? Let's just do it. What the hell? So we have quite a few people in the chat with us, which is great. 12 viewers, I think, thereabouts. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe if by any chance you are new here, though I don't suppose you are. And yeah, today we're going to be continuing the Odyssey through Doctor Who promo pics. Let's just head over to the Black Archive again. There we go. So very quickly, for anyone that doesn't know, we have been going through all of the new series, like officially released Doctor Who promo pics in recent weeks, taking it usually a series each week, but for series 4 we can have to split it in two. So we are going to be beginning today with, I think, the Library two-parter is where we got up to last time. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Because we sort of imitated that week's gap they had for Eurovision back when Series 4 was broadcast. Because, yeah, there was a week between Unicorn and the Wasp going out and then Silence in the Library to make space for Eurovision in the schedules. So we've got the back end of Series 4 to cover today, and then maybe some other bits and pieces as well. And just general other nostalgia and stuff as well. I've still got open here from the last time we did a stream, the old Series 4 RTD1 websites with all the goodness that's on there, all the nostalgia. So maybe take a look at that and things like that as we go. But also as well, just before we crack into this, we need to cover recent bits of Doctor Who news. I feel just quickly discuss bits and pieces. I mean, most notably, since the last stream went out, which was like a fortnight ago today, we did get confirmation, of course, of the Warriors of the Deep set, the figure set, which we were sort of speculating about on the stream. There'd been loads of speculation about it that day, like a fortnight ago today. And I do have in my hands here a lovely Warriors of the Deep Silurian boy. These are fantastic figures. I mean, they have limitations given that it's a reused sculpt from the Sea Devil, so like the bits they've reused on the arms and legs aren't quite scaly enough. But the sort of wrist, like forearm bits, do have that patterning on, which is great. The head sculpt, obviously, is fantastic, and the body and everything, and yeah, they do look the part. They smell a bit different, actually, to other figures. I think I've seen some other people mention this, but if you give them a sniff, they don't quite have that same smell that new Doctor Who figures from character usually have. Not quite sure why that is, if they've like used a different type of plastic or something, I don't know. But yeah, they're really great, these guys. And yeah, of course, that means that the figure collection video, which I put out today, is already out of date because things have changed slightly to fit them on the shelf. But that's just the way things go, really, isn't it? New figures all the time. Things have to change. I am massively behind with the chats. Just very quickly, let's catch up, see who's here. If you are watching live, please do make yourself known. It'd be great to hear from you. Great to have your thoughts and opinions and suggestions and questions and things. We have got Doctor Master, hello. Googleplex Flex, hello. Red Number 1, hello. Owen Duckers, Blocks of Flux, Crispy. Hooniverse Archive says hello from a hotel room. Hooniverse Archive is, of course, the person in charge of the Black Archive website, which we use to source all the promo pics for these streams, which is great. Great to have you with us. Who else have we got? Emily Ashley, hello. Great to have you here. Jared Jams, hi. JW Newell, sorry, butchered that. Who else have we got? Anyone else? Ben Miller, hello. And 2 Million Like Head, of course. Of course you're here, hello. So really great to have you all here. I'm just browsing through the chat. I know we've got some mentions as well in the chat of whatever it was called, the Comic Con that's just taken place in London. Is it London Comic Con or whatever? Not quite sure the official title is. But yeah, so that's something we should probably cover as well, because that's been a thing. I mean, we've had 2 Comic Cons recently, Doctor Who wise. We've had Gallifrey 1 this time last week, which is of course in America. So I don't suppose anyone watching this will have gone to that, although, I'd happily be proven wrong, or maybe we've got some American viewers tuning into these streams, who knows. But yeah, we had that, and in terms of new series, like current era people that went to that, there was Mandip Gill, Sash Dhawan and Joe Martin, of course. They all did a panel, and there were some bits and pieces that got out from them, I think. And also Matt Stravens was there, the executive producer, the one that's not Chris Chibnall. I think that the news bites from that were that basically Joe Martin and Sasha, I think, were hinting that they were going to be back. Something very vaguely, although we've not seen the last of their characters. And I think Matt Stravens let slip that Legend of the Sea Devils was originally going to be the regeneration episode for the 13th Doctor, which is quite interesting. Because presumably, if we take that as read, then, she died at the end of the Sea Devil episode at the hands of the Sea Devils. Whether that means the Master is in that story as well, who knows. I'm sort of half expecting him to crop up sort of maybe halfway through the Sea Devils story, but we'll see what happens there. And then, of course, at London Comic Con, whatever it's called, we had Mandip Gill again, and Jodie Whittaker making her convention debut, which is fantastic to see. There have been so many great photos that I've seen on Twitter and etc. from people that have gone and had a blast. People that really love the 13th Doctor and Mandip and Yaz and Thasmin, the whole shebang. Seeing people that really sort of see themselves in that part of the show, and having the female lead and the relationship between Yaz and the Doctor and stuff. It's just really great to see. Really great to see. And particularly the photo they did. I'm gonna have to find it now because I just mentioned it. But there was a photo from a thing they did. What's it called? A Showmasters, isn't it? There we go. We had this fantastic. What was that? A video version? That's a video version. This is the photo version, I think. Yeah, a fantastic meetup of people cosplaying the Doctor. Many of them cosplaying the 13th Doctor. All gathered in one space, and then Jodie turned up at some point as well for that, I think. Where's the photo with Jodie? And there we go, in the orange at the back there. So really great to see the love for Jodie at that convention, and hopefully, one day in the future, maybe I'll get myself along to one of these conventions if she does another one, and it'd be great to meet her. I'm sure, one day before I pop off this earth, hopefully the opportunity to do that will arise. Let's close off Twitter. If I can close it, there we go. So yes, let's just see what people are saying in the chat. Crispy says, Richard, you look very human today. Not quite sure what you mean by that, but thanks, I guess. We love a good Sunday stream, we do indeed. Also, Blocks of Flux went to London Comic Con by the sounds of it and met Jodie and Mandip. That's really great. Blocked of Flux also got a Paradigm Dalek figure. Oh, fantastic. Which one did he get? It'd be great to know. Freinik Farm, apologies, I'm butchering your name there, sorry. It says congrats on 7k, thank you, legend. Very nice. Yeah, so that's another thing that's happened since the last stream. We hit 7,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. Because it's a while since we hit 6k. I think that was back in 2020 sometime, maybe when Series 12 was on. So it's been a long time coming to hit another milestone. Really great. Really, really great to have that. Sam Fowler's joined us. Hello. I think I'm just about up to date there, yes. And Hooven Espresso Extra was also there. He says, Jodie and Mandip really came across as really good friends as well. Love the idea of them recreating the Bill theme, as they said at the talk. The Bill theme? What's that about? Bill, as in Bill Potts? Let us know. So yeah, I'm sort of up to date now, I think, with the chat. I will keep my eye on it as we go. But yes, let's crack into these promo pics and, do what we've come here to do. So, Silence in the Library, first and foremost, resuming our Series 4 promo pic retrospective. Let's take a look first at this lovely one here. That's a sort of previously unreleased one, I think. That's really nice. Don't know where you found that, Universal Archives, but it's a very nice photo. So that is going into the folder alongside all the other promo pics today. I sort of saved them to my own personal archive, and we have fun looking at them in the process. We've also got these ones of River, etc. So zoom out a bit. There we go. In the library, these sort of nice promo pics. They did quite a few of these for the Series 4 stories, looking back, like of characters in the settings, you know, like there's famously the ones from like Fires of Pompeii, where you've got like Peter Capaldi and Donna and the 10th Doctor, etc., with like the Roman like set behind them. There's the ones from Planet of the Ood, where you've got like the snowy setting behind them. The famous ones from the Sontaran two-parter, where it's like the lineup of the Doctor, Donna, Martha in her lab coat, and Commander Score, the Sontaran, and the ones for the Doctor's daughter as well, like with the progenitor thing in the background that Jenny comes out of, like she's born out of, and then of course, you know, these as well, and famously the Unicorn and the Wasp ones as well. So yeah, Series 4 was a good time for that, I think. I do think it's a shame these days that and I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here, but like for Series 5 and 6, and then particularly for Series 7, 8, 9 and 10 as well, slightly, but then the sort of tail came off a bit there in terms of consistency with them. But they did the episode specific posters as well, of course, for those seasons, and that they were really great. I do think it's a bit of a shame, really, that we don't get that anymore for the current stuff. But then again, like when we have a special like the Eve of the Daleks, you know, or Legend of the Sea Devils, presumably we'll get on as well. We do get the lovely artwork, like a sort of movie poster thing. Lovely shots here of the Doctor and River. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, they're really awesome, aren't they? And then finally these white background ones. Then we'll move on to the episode stills. And while I'm on these, of course, do let me know your thoughts in the chat on the library two-parter. I think it's a really fantastic story, you know. And as we get into these final Series 4 stories as well today, I want to sort of reminisce about what it was like, you know, back then, because this was my first series, as I said in the past, and I do vividly remember that trailer that they did for like the final, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes of Series 4. It was like the mid-season trailer. It had stuff in from Midnight, like that shot where the camera sort of comes down and Sky is like on the floor going, "Oh no, don't come and attack me," or whatever. Stuff from Turn Left as well, and then the finale. It was a fantastic trailer and fantastic time to be a fan, really. It was just awesome. Really epic in terms of the scale and stuff. And yeah, this episode, you know, I mean, Charlotte Abigail Lux, you know, it's so unique and so weird, and like this whole idea of a library inside someone's head. But it's fantastic. It's really just left field and amazing and different, and I love it. And particularly, you know, the end of Forest of the Dead, I think people have said in the past that it makes them cry, and, you know, fair enough, because like the whole thing with River obviously like sacrificing herself to save the Doctor, and then the Doctor, you know, realising that there's this way to save her, to literally save her to the library, and sort of sprinting off with his Sonic and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And it's a really sort of moving final scene, or final couple of scenes, and it like, I feel like it really captures what Doctor Who is about, like those final few scenes from Forest of the Dead, with like the narration on top from River Song, like what is it like? Just sometimes no one dies or something like that. Is it something like that? Some days I can't even remember. Should I find the transcript? I'll find the transcript. It's probably the best thing to do. Doctor Who transcripts, 10th Doctor episodes, Forest of the Dead. Yeah, there we go. Everybody knows that everybody dies, but not every day. Not today. It's amazing. It's like obviously like a bit of a, not a rehash, but like it links back to stuff like, you know, other Stephen Moffat scripts like The Doctor Dances, When Everybody Lives. It's just like a really life affirming ending, I feel, for this story, and really captures sort of what the show is about. Yeah, I can't quite explain it. I had to sort of watch it again to try and articulate it, but I just remember last time I saw this story really being moved by that ending and just what it stood for, really. Dr. Moon, obviously, a canon Doctor now, apparently. Thanks, Stephen Moffat. Yeah, I mean, what a fantastic story. I would love one day to go to the place where they filmed sort of the main bulk of the library, that room there. It's in Swansea, and it is a real life library. And obviously they like set dressed the whole thing and made it look a bit different. But I think in essence it does look like this in real life. In fact, let's go over to Google Images and just check that out. But I'm pretty sure it does. If we type in Swansea Library, yeah, there we go. See, you can Swansea Central Library. You can go and visit it, and yeah, that's what it looks like from the outside, which is a bit sort of bit weird to see the library from the outside. Apparently that's what it looks like. A bit sort of horrible and concretey. But then inside you got this lovely sort of cylindrical, circular room, basically with books everywhere you look, and it's just amazing. It's it's basically exactly how it was in the show, really. Oh, hang on, it says Old Swansea Library, so maybe it's not in use anymore. But I think it was when they filmed the episode anyway. There we go. Yeah, I'd love to go that one day. Day trip to Swansea. Let's book that in the calendar. So, hang on. What have I just done? There we go. Back to the stills. So the trash seeing. Yeah, Too Many Like Had is saying it's his favourite Doctor Who story ever. I love the Library Sea part. It's a good one. It's so good. And the Vash Narada as well, absolutely terrifying. We'll get on some photos of those guys in a minute. They are one of the sort of more impactful Doctor Who monsters, particularly from my childhood. I mean, it was them and the Flood really that really made an impact to me, I think, in terms of the scariness. Oh, and of course, how could I forget, in Forest of the Dead. I don't think we're going to find any photos of her today, but Miss Evangelista, oh my goodness, that freaked me out as a kid. It freaked me out. I think I said before, there was an issue of Doctor Who Adventures that came out the following week, and she was like on the inside page, and I would sort of like open the page tentatively and just take a peek and then close it again. It's like the equivalent of the sort of behind the sofa thing, where I sort of, I don't want to see it, but I can't stop looking, because it was so sort of weird and just, it was a bizarre. And obviously, looking back now, it looks a bit dated, the effect they use, like where they basically just like liquefy her face and like swirl it into different bits and pieces. But I think, still to this day, it's really freaky. It's really horrible. And her whole fate, it's dark. It's not nice. Il Squeak says they haven't had a name check this time. Well, there you go. That's your name check. Apologies for missing you off. Just running through quickly. Dr. Master as well. I think I did name check you, but I'll name check you again. Yeah, Red Number 1 says, one thing that might have scared me is the part when Donna's children disappear and everything that happens at the time. Yeah, the whole thing with that dream sequence in Forest of the Dead is just so creepy. It's horrible. It's it's like Donna has this perfect life sort of handed to her, but it's a dream and she has to leave and has to leave it behind, and it sort of all just disintegrates before her eyes, really. It falls apart. It's horrible. Fantastic writing, fantastic writing. It's so good. And there we go, of course, the Vashnarada, who turned out the lights. Oh boy, they are a scary Doctor Who monster. Absolute classic. Absolute classic. I mean, they are just sort of essentially like zombies in spacesuits, but they just work. They work so well. They're so good. All dramatic flair there with Tempt. Blocks of Flux says, something that always baffled me about this story was, did River get married at the end because she's reading to children? Interesting point. It is a bit weird, but I think the general idea is that, like, because the children are, I think they are Donna's children from the dream world, aren't they? I'm pretty sure. But aren't there like 3 beds instead of 2? I can't quite remember. Unless one of them is for River. I can't remember. It's something like that. But anyway, like, it's it's that sort of idea, I think, of like all those characters sort of being reunited, and River's like sort of not their mother, but like sort of just looking after them, treating them well. Interesting there. So Universe Archive says Forest of the Dead had no images released originally, so all of them are rarer ones. Yeah, I'll be taking a look at those in a minute. Because I have had a sort of preview glance at them, and they're just screen grabs, aren't they? Let's take a look at them right now. Yeah, it's interesting because there aren't many, are there? They're just all sort of from that dream sequence with Donna. Yeah, I wonder why that is. Gotta love that plasticine character there that Donna's child makes for her. Or is it for Lee, the father, whatever. Donna's child makes it. Yeah, I gotta love it. Poor Donna with all her marriages and stuff that don't quite go right until the very last one. Different husbands and things. One thing I will say, like in these scenes here, where like the lighting all goes red, it's a bit sort of overly dramatic, a bit overdone. I think, like, a bit weird. I think it works better when you have those moments like where the children disappear, like when she's putting them to bed and then like they disappear. It's freaky. But yeah, there we go. That is the library 2-parter. Just catching up with the chat, sorry. There are a lot of messages, apologies. Oh, yeah. Yes, we've got some mention about the library set and Sherlock being filmed there as well. Yeah, the Blind Banker, I thought it was that one. Yes, yeah. WhoTube. Hello, WhoTube. WhoTube says, I know a website that's kind of secret that has loads of rare Doctor Who photos. Well, if you'd like to send it my way, that would be very nice. I mean, of course, it's your choice, but we love rare Doctor Who photos on these streams, so, just saying. Yeah, 2 million like head there saying the Vashnarada are so cool, second only to the Flood or maybe the Foretold for one-off monsters. I'd have to agree with that. Absolutely on the same page. Yes. Yeah, Emily's saying that the river's ending is like a sort of precursor to Twice Upon a Time with what is it called, testimony, the whole thing with like memories being uploaded to the ether or like to the cloud or whatever, glass avatars. Yeah, which of course is another idea which is used in like the series 8 finale as well, with dead people being saved to the whatever it was called, like the cloud essentially, which again is used in Bells of St. John, isn't it, as well? Like Stephen Moffat loves that idea of people being saved onto computers and stuff when they die, whatever. Um, Gallifrey Falls No More says, I was only young when this was aired and remember being really upset when it was revealed that Anita had died. Oh, yeah. That's a gut punch moment, yeah. Right. So I guess midnight. Yeah, let's do midnight. Yeah, midnight. So midnight. I mean, again, this is another classic. It's another classic. Phrenic Farm says, what website is this? The website is the Black Archive. I will link it into the chat right now. Doctor Master says, do you ship Space Wives? If you say no, I will unsubscribe. Well, of course, the answer is yes. No joking. I mean, of course I do. Yeah. You can have that. I ship Space Wives. So, Midnights, yes. Oh, okay, this is one I haven't seen before, of the hostess there. So, we've got some discussion in the chat. I mean, Red Number 1 says Midnight was the weakest story in the series, in my opinion. Okay. I mean, that opinion might get you slaughtered. No, I'm joking. It's fine. You know, it's fine. Different people are different things. But I mean, personally, I think a lot of people would agree with me that like this is one of the best episodes. I mean, it's a funny one because like it's quite simple in terms of the actual concept, and it is like essentially just like RTD like milking this concept for all it's worth for like 40 minutes. But at the same time, it is really well done, and just the way it all unfolds. I mean, it's like a piece of theatre, basically. It's like this sort of continuous thing happening in real time. There's no cutaways to anywhere else. It's a chamber episode. Famously, it was sort of conceived as like a budget episode, like the sort of like companion light episode, isn't it? Like a sort of budget episode. But actually, I remember reading, I think in the Writer's Tale or somewhere, that it was actually really expensive to make because you have all these characters there in every scene all the time, and so you have to pay all their fees to have them there. But yeah, I mean, it's Sky as well. Absolutely terrifying. Her name is Leslie Sharp, isn't it? The actress who plays Sky, who of course worked with Russell before on other projects, but not that I would have known that at the time when I was watching this as a 7-year-old. But yeah, oh my god, she's scary. She's scary. Even before she turns into a monster, she's a bit weird, a bit freaky. And like her weird like sequency outfit as well. It's just there's something about her, isn't there? I feel a rewatch coming on for this. Actually, it's a really good episode. Daniel Ryan there as well at the back. Very niche reference, but I only recently realised that that is the same guy that's in The Bay. I don't know if anyone else watches The Bay on ITV, the crime drama. He's like the police boss guy in that series. And I've been watching him in that for like a few seasons, a year or two ago, and I was like, oh yeah, that guy was in Midnight. Never realised that before. And it's his star-studded cast, of course, because you do also have... Well, you have... now, which one is it? Is it David Troughton, this one? I think that's David, isn't it? There's David Troughton and Michael Troughton. Or is that one Michael? Someone tell me in the chat if you know. But basically, yeah, this guy is the son of Patrick Troughton. And, you know, once you've been told that, you can sort of see it, like, in his face immediately. Like, the sort of lines around his mouth and stuff, and his frown and just everything. It's Patrick Troughton, isn't it? It's great to have him in the show. And of course, he was in it before, wasn't he? In Curse of Peladon as King, whatever he's called, the King of Peladon. But then as well, in fact, also you have this. I can't remember what she's called, like Ayesha Antoine or something along those lines. She did a load of narration for some of the DVD commentaries, I think, bizarrely. Oh, it's just brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant stuff. The whole idea with the repetition and just... it's great. It's freaky. But yeah, here we go. The real star of the show. Merlin, of course. Merlin himself. Colin Morgan, is it? I think his name is. Now, had he done Merlin by this point? I think this was just before he started Merlin, because I think Merlin began in like the autumn of 2008. This was obviously in the spring, the summer. Yeah, so that's just a fun little crossover there. I mean, look at that fantastic close-up shot there of David. He was also in the War Games as well. Ah, right, yes. That rings a bell, I think. Yeah. Wait, what? Patrick Troughton was in Doctor Who? I'm proper confused. I mean, it's a fantastic cast of characters. They're all so great. It's just a stellar episode, really. Absolutely stellar. Like, I think it's one of the best things the show has ever done. It's just properly freaky. Whose Books is with us? Hi, sorry I haven't been in previous live streams and busy with college. No problem at all. You're always welcome here. You know, whenever you can tune in. So that is the end of Midnight. I think there is also, I'm just going to look on Google Images, I think there is a shot of like all of the cast together, which, yeah, that one there, which you haven't got there. But then it's not quite as high resolution as that one. It's sort of, well, it sort of is, but like it sort of isn't. Is it like a scan from a book or something? But yeah, that's a good one. Oh, hold on, where's it gone? Yeah, that's a good one because it's like, it sort of shows off how the different characters complement each other and the different costumes and stuff and the colours of the costumes. It's yeah, it's super. So we have now reached the finale of Series 4. Turn left. Turn left. Is that Ricky Gervais in the red shirt? It's not Ricky Gervais, no, it is a chap called Daniel Ryan. Yeah, not Ricky Gervais. We have got 27 people watching apparently, which is fantastic. If you are enjoying this, please do leave a like on the video. And like super chats, super stickers, and Patreon stuff are always appreciated and much encouraged, but obviously, you know, just a bonus. But hey, if you fancy doing that, then I'm not going to say no. So, turn left. I mean, again, like, it's a recurring theme with these final stories from series 4, but they're all sort of like psychologically very creepy and unnerving and dark. Like this one is obviously all about the end of the world. It's maybe not a great episode to watch right now. But yeah, joking aside and stuff, it's again another really great one. I think one thing that lets it down for me slightly is that Billie Piper, she's a bit weird as Rose in this, like with the like lisp or whatever. She just sounds a bit different. I think she's gone on record in the past as saying that she found it, she struggled to sort of slot back into the role of Rose, which would sort of explain it. But yeah, that sort of grates on me a bit watching this back, and just like her sort of smugness as well. Like, I don't know, she's a bit sort of full of herself. Well, not full of herself, but like a bit sort of, I don't know, smug. That's the only way I can describe it. But like in the way, like in the scene she talks to Donna in. But you know, I'm not going to complain. I think as well that that's a brilliant piece of costume design with the sort of blue jacket and the pinky top underneath. Fantastic. And she looks more grown up and just, you know, it's great. And it's interesting as well to think back to this lovely rare photo there. Interesting because I can't remember if back when this was on, whether I had sort of knew who Rose was or not, because obviously I was coming to the series fresh, you know, series 4. I literally only got into the show, you know, at the start of series 4, so I might have sort of read about her in those like 10 or 11 weeks, but I don't know. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, I do remember it being a big thing, like, you know, Rose is coming back. Like, it was something that was sort of bigged up and, you know, it was a big thing. So you couldn't really miss the significance of it. Turn left, aka Rose Tyler in the Multiverse of Madness. Yes, absolutely. We've got lots of praise for Turn Left. Although 2 million like Head says Turn Left just depressed me. I only really watch it if I'm doing a rewatch of Series 4. That's fair. I mean, it is a depressing episode. I mean, look at Bernard Crimmins there, bless him. He's sad, isn't he? He's not happy. Happy to be in this episode. Yeah, it's a classic, but it is depressing and it is sort of heavy. And like the way as well that it effectively ends with Donna committing suicide, which is a bit of a sort of red flag, I guess. I always find that weird as well, looking back at Angels Take Manhattan and how, you know, Amy and Rory effectively like commit suicide in that episode by jumping off the top of the building, and that's like their exit from the show, essentially, just jumping off a building. Which is a bit sort of alarming. I mean, I guess it all comes down to the execution and how it's handled, and obviously they don't show any blood or anything, but yeah, it's looking back, it's like one of those things that you sort of think, was that the best way to do it? You know? But I guess for this, it does work because, like, well, again, it's Donna like going to a sort of alternate reality again, like the dream world in Forest of the Dead. And having to leave, but I guess in this instance she wants to go back to the real world because it's so much better than this hellscape, basically. Yeah, and Catherine Tate is just phenomenal in this one. I mean, probably one of the best performances, really. She's really good. Dr. Master says, I had chicken and bacon pasta bake from the co-op for my dinner. Do not recommend. It was very watery. Did it taste like chicken? That's what I don't know. Would the Absorbloff have approved? I watched it recently. Really kills any joy. Oh my god, sorry. That is unintentionally funny to me. Oh, that's an arty shot there with her in the mirror, isn't it? Oh, hi Joe Plum in the chat. Just seen you say that it's a shame we never got an action figure of Wilf. Yeah, it is a shame. And like even Rose in her outfit from this story as well. That would have been a good one because it's quite an iconic look for her. Yeah, hopefully one day, maybe like 50 years time or something. You never know. You never know. It would be lovely. Yeah, Hooven Espresso Extra saying there that with the case of Amy and Rory, it's the whole like thing of them jumping off the building. That's probably why they had the scene in the graveyard at the end, sort of saying they're okay and stuff. Yeah, no, I get that, and that's fair enough. And it certainly like makes it less of a sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't bother me massively. It's just like one of those things where I kind of think, that's a bit off, you know. There is something on your back. Oh, the Absorbloff wouldn't approve. That's a shame, isn't it? Though he would sit on it and feed it to Bliss. Oh my god. Oh dear. Goodness me. And on that note, let's turn our attention to the finale. We've been going for how long now? Like 45 minutes, I think? Thereabouts. If you are enjoying this, please do leave a like. It'd be great for the like count to sort of match the viewer count. Actually annoyed we won't get a Dan figure until 2099. Oh god, I mean it's so true, isn't it? That's the painful thing. Yeah. Whose book says we'll be looking at the Series 4 specials from Pics from the next Doctor Planet, etc. Yeah, maybe. It depends how far we get tonight. I guess we might as well sort of move on to them. I don't know if we get through them all, but we might get through like a few of them. Lovely shot there. I think that's on the Radio Times, that one of the three Daleks. Really, really lovely. All jokes aside, though, there really is something on your back. Is there? Can't see anything. Blocks of Flux, I think there is alluding to the thing with the character options Doctor Who license. Yeah, there was a load of hoo-ha with that. Apparently, they do still hold the license for new Who figures, and it was just like an error. Slip of the tongue from the person involved who sent that email. So apparently they do still hold the license for it. But they're still not making the figures though, so I don't know. It's anyone's guess what's going on there, really. It's anyone's guess. What I'm looking forward to is like the day when like people my age are all like, 40, 50, 60, upwards, whatever. And it's been 50 years since, I don't know, Kablam aired. And we finally get the figure of the Kablam man because it's like, it's all nostalgia and it's like, oh, Series 11 is now Classic Who and we've all got disposable incomes, we can all afford it, there's demand for it, it's like a collector's thing. Because that, I feel, is the big thing at the moment, like, in terms of them making more classic era stuff for the figures, it's like, sort of fair enough, if that does sell more, because, like I say, the people that grew up with those stories and those characters and those Doctors, the first 7 Doctors. Number one, back in the day, they had very few sort of toys and figures of those characters. So it's like sort of catching up on lost time and lost opportunities, And so, yeah, it's that sort of thing of them sort of buying the toys that they would have bought at the time in their childhoods, and also just the fact that they're like old enough, like I say, to have disposable incomes. The demand is there. But yeah, once that old guard is gone and the new series fans are old enough to be in that position, then we will dictate the figures, and we'll finally get our Kablam Man and Sashtuan Master and Fugitive Doctor. Just might take a couple of decades to get there, unfortunately, if things continue the way they are. But joking aside, I don't know if we'll ever see those anytime soon or not, but it would be lovely if we did. Owen Duckers says, I remember crying my eyes out at the end of Stolen Earth when I was a kid. Crikey, fair enough. God, that's a first 1.5, isn't it? Of Sylvia and Wilf there. Yeah, so my memories of this, this episode actually, Stolen Earth, aired on my younger sister's christening day. So we had the christening during the day. We then went back to my granny's house, I think, and watched it there. And yeah, that's basically sort of the extent of my memories from that day. But no, I do remember sort of the cliffhanger being like a real sort of wow cliffhanger. And like I remember people saying like in the week before Journey's End was broadcast, like, oh, is he going to regenerate into the 5th Doctor because of Time Crash? That was like a theory that was going around. I think my dad thought he was going to regenerate into River Song, and that River Song was going to be revealed to be like a future Doctor. It was bonkers. It was a mad time. Red number 1 says, "What if Tennant became Smith in this story?" It would have been fantastic, wouldn't it? In a manner of speaking, obviously, like we'd have lost out on the specials and stuff, and some good 10th Doctor episodes to round off this era. But yeah, imagine the carnage. Imagine what that would have been like. I still hope to God that they can perform a stunt like that one day. That would be really amazing. The way you do that, I suppose, is to not have the cliffhanger being who is he going to regenerate into, but like actually have the episode continue for like a few more seconds where you see him regenerate into the next Doctor, and then there's like a moment, and it's like that's where he cuts to the end credits and the cliffhanger to be continued. Show this random stranger that he regenerates into, and have that as a cliffhanger. It's like, what? That would be so good, and I hope they can do that one day. Maybe not like as a permanent thing, because let's be honest, like for David Tennant or for any Doctor to sort of bow out in that way, just like randomly, abruptly, just to disappear, and that's it for their era, it would be a bit sort of unfair on whoever was playing the Doctor to not have the chance to have their proper, finale episode and specials or whatever they're going to have. Fantastic picture of Davros there. But yeah, if they could like carry that off just for an episode where the Doctor regenerates into someone else, and you like bring in someone really famous for like just one episode, just for like a one-off guest Doctor thing. It would mess up like the canon of Doctors and the lineup of Doctors, and there'll be so many questions like, does this Doctor count? But yeah, have a one-off Doctor, just one episode, and then have them like rewind time or something, so that that Doctor never existed, the Doctor never generated, and it's all fine. But yeah, that would be really great if they could do that one day. Yeah, definitely still Doctor Who's biggest clickbait moment. It really was. Yeah, it really was. Oh dear. But it worked, so fair enough. So on to Journey's End now. We're at the end of Series 4. Crikey. We've got some people in the chat who have recently met up with Davros at Time Fracture. Emily says, I encountered Davros at Time Fracture on Friday. Oh, fantastic. Very, very cool. Blocks of Flux, on the other hand, says, I saw him in Time Fracture. It looked okay. Okay, fair enough. Two sort of opposing views on Davros there. Yeah, no, I hope to do Time Fracture at some point, hopefully fairly soonish. It'll be great. Dave Ross. I mean, it goes without saying as well, but like, this was my first exposure to Davros ever, I think. I don't think I'd sort of seen any old photos of him prior to this point, and like, amazing design, amazing performance, just amazing stuff. Love it. Absolutely love it. This photo is really weird because I don't know what's going on here, but like, obviously it's the red Supreme Dalek, and it's missing the plunger. So it has the stick, but it's missing the plunger. In fact, actually looking up close to that, it kind of looks like it's just snapped off or something. So maybe they were doing a photo shoot and someone accidentally manhandled the Supreme Dalek's plunger. Or it just like literally fell off or something. Don't know. But yeah, it's always sort of bamboozled me looking at that photo and seeing that Dalek without its plunger and like thinking, why? Why did that happen? How did that happen? Then the famous money shots of all the companions. Does anybody know in the chats which one of the companions here was edited into the photo afterwards? Because we've got like, what, 7 companions here and the Doctor, David Tennant. So 6 of the companions were there on the day, photographed together in this studio. One of them was green screened in. Who was it? Go. And I'll tell you if you're correct or not. Shame, isn't it? We've got Noel Clarke and John Barrowman here, but what can you do? What can you do? Yes, we have some correct answers in the chat. It was indeed Donna, Catherine Tate. Photoshopped into the thing at the back there. I mean, yeah, you can kind of tell, to be honest, if you know. But yeah, like back in the day, I didn't have a clue, to be honest. I just, you know. In fact, actually, I'm just wondering now. I'm just having a moment of nostalgia. Because there was I think I've got it over there. I might just go and get it, actually. There was a activity book back in like 2009, I think. And it basically was like a Children of Time activity book where it had like these stickers of all of the companions from the Series 4 finale. And you could like reusable stickers that you could sort of like position on this diorama. I'm going to go and find it. Back in a moment. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this was it. The Children of Time sticker poster book. Oh, there we go. You can see it. So this was released in 2009, I think. Obviously, it's got the same photo up on the front cover, and yeah, it had like. Oh, here we go. So, oh, I see. There was like actual stuff inside, like pages and activities and stuff that you could do, or like, well, information basically. Like, I never know how to position myself when I'm doing this stuff. So there we go. The series 4 finale. But the main sort of feature was this fold out thing. Listen to this authentic sound. Ugh, it's all sort of stuck together. This is actually a bit grim. Ugh. I will show you this in a moment. Oh, so I see. So that was like one side of it. Hold on. There we go. So you could have the characters on this like Dalek spaceship thing, or, as I did, you could have them in the TARDIS console room. So I have no idea how I'm going to sort of effectively show this on camera. I should probably do like a proper video on it one day. But you had like these. If they'll peel off, will they come off? Oh, come off. There we go. Like these transparent stickers of the characters, and then you could like sort of just press them into place. Well, then again, maybe they've lost their stick now, but back when it came out, okay, maybe that wasn't a great idea to remove that one. It does not seem to be sticking back on. Okay, they have lost their stick, haven't they? That's sad. But yeah, slightly unrelated sort of tangent there, but yeah, that sticker book, it had, not a sticker book, but like, well, it sort of is a sticker book, but not like a traditional sticker book, but it had all these characters in basically from Stolen Earth Journey's End. That was the link. Yeah, I've got a load of those old activity books. I need to do like a video on them one day because they're really nostalgic. I think I only found them fairly recently, like in lockdown or something. Because there's also like the like transfers book or like tattoos or something with the Pyrovile priestess, not priestess, like one of the sisterhood on the front, like with the eye tattoo things, and you could like get transfers of those in the activity book. Yeah, I need to dig all those out and have a proper look at them, but that's just a little taste of that there. Do let me know in the chat if you had any of those activity books too, because yeah, it'd be great to hear from you. Let's just head back to the other view. There, another one. There we go. Yeah, who've special extras used to have some of those access books back in the day. Dare you to scribble out Mickey and Jack with a Sharpie. I replace Jack and Mickey with River and Ace. I mean, not a bad idea, to be honest. Someone should do that with this photo, like Photoshop it. Photoshop Noel Clarke and John Barrowman out of it. Just like stick someone else's head on them, like River Song and Ace or whoever. I feel like I half remember this. Yeah. Memories unlocked. I mean, maybe now actually, while we're on this theme, I'll go and I'll try and drag out the transfers book as well, because yeah. Here we go. It was a tattoo book. Let's get the other view back. There we go. Yeah, this was it. So it had the sibling sisterhood person on the front and David Tennant's. And I don't think I ever used... Did I use any of these? Maybe I did. Let's find out. Let's have a look and find out. But that's what it looked like. The stuff you get inside, like little Jadoon crosses and Doctor Who logos and the eyes that they have on their hands, the sisterhood. Oh, and like Ood markings as well from when Toby got possessed and stuff. Oh yeah, here we go. I think I used some of them, not the other ones. Some of those are still intact. They're quite cool actually, like things like the Dalek tags along the bottom and stuff, and Gallifreyan text. Yeah, that's the only ones I've got. Gosh, it's a blast from the past, this sort of stuff. I must do a video on it one day. And I've like filled in some of the puzzles and stuff, like that one there with like the episode titles. Don't know if you can see it there. Udoku, yeah, fantastic. Right, anyway, tangent over on activity books for now. But yeah, I need to do a video on those one day. So that is something for the future. So where did we get up to? We got to this first, didn't we? Oh yeah, so we're still on Journey's End. Like general promo pics. I'm gonna have some Easter eggs because, you know, why not? Chocolate. Yeah, nice photo there. A rare one of Tennant and Rose and her boyfriend and mum. Davros, gotta love him, got to love him. It's gonna be sad to leave like the 10th Doctor's era behind us when we eventually move on from it in these streams with all the promo pics and stuff, because it's full of nostalgia, absolutely full of it. Dr. Master says, how much for you to put the Ood markings on your head? I've got no money, but I can offer likes. Well, maybe for the future. But that's a good point, you know. Like, yeah, a like costs nothing. So if you are enjoying this, please do give it a like. We have got, how many people? About 20 odd people, I think, still watching. Which is a bit bonkers, but hey, like, that people actually watch this stuff, this nonsense. But yeah, so I feel like, oh yeah, there's quite a few photos there. So we have Donna and her German friend. So, who can tell me where this was filmed? This bit with Martha. It's a location that's been used in Doctor Who in other episodes. So it's the place that's like the German building in Germany. Gold star for anyone that can name that location. There. It's quite an iconic shot of her, I think, there. In her gear. Yeah, I kind of love how Martha goes a bit badass in the Series 4 finale. I mean, I guess she also sort of does that in the Series 3 finale, to be honest, to be fair. But, yeah. Somewhere in Wales. Nice try. I'll give you a clue. It's a castle. It's a castle in Wales where they have also filmed other episodes, both outside and inside. And I've been there myself, actually. It's near some woodland where they have also filmed episodes like Robot of Sherwood, Bells of St. John. What else? They filmed there? Torchwood, Day 1. What other ones? I'm trying to remember now. Stuff like that, basically. Castle Cock. That's right. Never quite know if I'm saying that right. Like, I think when you hear like the Welsh pronunciation of it, it's like Castell Coch or something like that. But yeah, that's the one. It's the one that looks like a sort of it basically looks like something out of a fairy tale. And it was also, like, fun fact, I think it was also in the Tracy Beaker movie. It's this place here. Yeah, that's why they filmed it. There we go. That's what it looks like from the sort of the outside, from the road. And are there any photos of it from Tracy Beaker? It would seem not, but I'm pretty sure it's filmed there. Yeah, the Tracy Beaker movie. Let's find a photo. Castle. Okay, there aren't any screen grabs of it, but take my word for it. It's basically like in that film, the bit near the end, I think it's like a film set. And anyway, it's Castle Cock. But yeah, it's been used loads in Doctor Who, like Nightmare in Silver, with the Cybermen. Like Shilder as well. That was in the forest nearby. Woman who lived, not Woman Who Fell to Earth. Woman Who Lived. They are the main ones, I think. Oh, and Heaven Sent. I think part of the castle in Heaven Sent is there as well. Little fun tangent. Yikes. Dr. Master says, the new Tracy Beaker show is utter crap. I wouldn't know, I haven't watched it, but hey, I'll take your word for it. Anyway, detonates the reality bomb. Look how pleased with himself he looks there. He loves it. Yeah, these photos of Davros are iconic. Oh, Noel Clarke, eh? It is a shame, like, how much of this stuff he is in, because it's you can't easily like watch these episodes and not see him, can you? Yikes. Anyway, yeah, these photos of Davros are great. They're super. Really, really super. So near the end of series 4 now. So near the end. And we've been going for like an hour and 10 minutes, I think. So I guess we'll move on to certainly the next Doctor and possibly Planet of the Dead as well. We'll see how we go. But yeah, we will be doing some other stuff afterwards, after this. These are super, aren't they? Absolutely super from that standoff moment between the Doctor and Davros. I feel like it's a bit of a sort of, again, like one of those sort of overly like melodramatic moments where Davros is like, all the people you have killed or something, all the people have died because of you. It sort of worked, and it's sort of a bit corny as well, but I don't know. It is a cool montage, that bit where like you've got all of those characters like Astrid, Jenny, Jabe, all these characters who have died because of the Doctor. Aha, Mr. Meta Crisis there. Interesting behind the scenes shot there. And last but not least, Sarah Jane Smith. And what a way to end Series 4 with the woman herself, Elizabeth Sladen. Oh, actually, we've got some behind the scenes ones as well. Just 2 photos. That's, Martha from Imagining Castle Koch. Her Osterhagen station thing. And then the TARDIS on the spaceship. Poor Donna, indeed. Let's just briefly take a look at these medium res ones as well then. I got 2 pages of medium res, fantastic. That's a nice one. Sort of poster for Partners in Crime. Zoom in, there we go. Not that much. There we go. David there. There are quite a few white background ones here, aren't there? Like Miss Foster. It's a shame these aren't available in HD, isn't it? Oh, actually, that reminds me as well, actually. I don't know if... Universe Archives, I don't know if you know about this, but I recently found a... It's like a photographer's website that has loads of white background photos from like series 7 and 8 and 9 and stuff. Let me see if I can try and find it. What was it called? I think I bookmarked it somewhere. Oh gosh, what was it called? Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Have I got it here somewhere? I think I have. Yes, there we go. Adrian Rogers, that's the one. Let's have a little tangent onto that website. Yeah, this photographer. So let's find find Doctor Who stuff. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, this is a bit of a gold mine. I'm not sure if they're high res or not. Maybe they're just medium res, actually. Okay, maybe they are just like medium res, aren't they? Sadly. But yeah, it's a great website full of loads of sort of rarely seen photos of characters from like series 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Oh, there's that Miss Foster one, in fact. There it is again. Rory, Nefertiti, Clara. That photo that was on the front of the Time Traveller Almanac, I think it was called, that book that came out. I've got it down there somewhere. Hold on, I've got it down there. Yes, I have. Yeah. Doctor Who. Yeah, this one. That photo. Well, it's a similar photo, similar shot on my book. Yeah, the Vespiform Peter Capaldi looking dapper in his suit there. Some pirates. The butcher guy from... Not butcher, like the morgue guy from Crimson Horror. Father Octavian. Dream Lord. Yeah, it's a real goldmine, this. And just a shame they aren't quite as high res as I thought they were. But I will link to this in the chat for anyone that's interested. Anyway, back onto the these medium res ones. Adipose Industries. Doctor getting someone's number. It's a weird one looking back, like Partners in Crime. It's like an episode of The Office, isn't it? Like in those first few scenes in the Adipose Industries office. It's like so it's a weird one. Like, it's so different to any other Doctor Who story. Like it's a Doctor Who story like partially set in an office, and like one of the first scenes is the Doctor like chatting to a secretary in an office. It's interesting. Aha, 2 Sonics, Miss Foster, Sarah Lancashire, of course. Sisterhood. Oh, yeah, there's that photo again. I see you have got them. Yeah, you have got them, haven't you, on here? What other gems have we got? General style there. Martha. Some photos of David Tennant and his wife / daughter. A Hath. Gotta love the Hath. There's a Hath. There's some more Agatha Christie there. Agatha Christie. Some other library ones. In fact, is that the photo that was on front of that Doctor Who? What's it called? Doctor Who. What was it called? Essential Doctor Who bookazine thing. That one, Science and Technology. Yeah, that's the same photo, isn't it? Not that one. Oh, that one. There we go. That one. David Tennant. Fashionarada. Scary stuff. Let's go on to page 2 of these. Merlin. Oh, these are cool. David and Catherine doing little photo shoots. There's one in blue there. Aha, the Radio Times cover with the companions on it. The Davros one. Davros again. Yeah, that's just about it really. I won't go through all of these because they are medium res, but hey. There we go. So, that is all of the 10th Doctor seasons now covered on these streams. What's in the unsorted folder? Oh, it's that one there. Is that from... is it from Midnight, that one? Oh no, Midnight doesn't wear the tie, does he? What story is that from? Is that from the Library 2-parter? No, it isn't, is he? Or whichever story that's from, that's also there. So, we now have just the specials to do. There's also stuff like Attack of the Grask, Infinite Quest that we haven't yet covered. But I think right now let's move on to the special. Let's move on to the next Doctor. stomach wrong. Pardon me. So, next Doctor. Mr. David Tennant. Fires of Pompeii. Was that from Fires of Pompeii? In fact, that... I think it... Is it from this story? It looks very similar to the one... Hold on. The one we were just looking at looks very similar to... where was it? The 10th Doctor Unsorted. That one there. That costume is the next Doctor costume, isn't it? It's the same, isn't it? So maybe it's from next Doctor? Hold on. We're gonna solve this mystery by turning to Will Brooks's fantastic guide to all of the 10th Doctor costumes. Where's the... Hold on. The costume catalogue. Here we go. Oh, Partners in Crime. Okay. So that costume variation was seen in Partners in Crime and The Next Doctor, and no other stories. Just literally those two stories. So... yeah, I guess you could sort of class it either as a Partners in Crime photo or a Next Doctor photo. Of course, he doesn't wear it in all of Partners in Crime. I think it's just for some of the scenes. But anyway, mystery solved. Mystery solved. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, hold on. Joe, did you just say that in the chat before I found out the answer? Because if so, that is impressive knowledge. If you just knew that off the top of your head, that's impressive. Anyway, I'm being told to check Twitter, so I'm going to check Twitter. I'm going to do it. I may come to regret it, but I'm going to do it. Let's see what madness I've been sent on Twitter. Hold on. Found Davros's TikTok. What's this about? What is this? Yikes. What on earth is this? What have you sent me? What is this? Who is this person? Well, yikes, that's all I can say. Okay. Okay. Oh dear, moving swiftly on. Someone tell me who that person was, because I have absolutely no idea. Yeah. So, and why they look so malnourished. Someone feed them a meal, please. So, next Doctor. Aha, the Massimo Dutti tie. says Joe, which is hardly ever used. Let's look it up. Aha, yeah, there we go. Oh, did he wear it again in lockdown? Was that for the Muppets thing or something? Wait, hold on. What's going on? Oh, the late show, apparently that was. Oh, hang on, where's it gone? There we go. Yeah, so he must still have that. He wore it again recently, by the looks of things. Anyway, the oldest dude alive. That was the oldest dude alive. The oldest person's TikTok. Was it? Crikey me. This is a rabbit hole which I was not planning to go down, so we're not going to do it. Let us move on to the next Doctor then. Hopefully I haven't scared any viewers off with that madness. If you are enjoying this, please do leave a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you haven't already. And give a super chat, whatever, if you feel like it. That'd be lovely. But if not, just leave a like, because they are much appreciated too. Yeah, I was thinking I don't know if I should sort of give some perks for like super chats and stuff. Like, say, I don't know, if someone gives me a super chat, I will do XYZ, you know, that sort of stuff. Like wear a mask for the whole stream or something, you know, I don't know. It's something that I thought of, but like, who knows if that's a good idea or not. But maybe something for the future. Anyway, Jackson Lake, God love him. The 11th Doctor that never was. Yeah, it's interesting looking back how basically I hadn't quite twigged until recently when I was doing the video about when the Doctors were announced that Matt Smith was only announced about a week after this episode was broadcast. So you know, within the space of like 10 days, you had the fake 11th Doctor and then the real 11th Doctor. It was mad. Absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Rosita, gotta love her too. Gotta love her. Get her to do some Big Finish, she'd be good. And Miss Hartigan as well, a fantastic baddie dressed in red. I'm going to have another Easter egg. Too Many Like Head says, do a cosplay of the Borad, and I'll donate a £5. No, seriously though, the thing I was thinking, I've got all these like old masks from Doctor Who Adventures. This terrifying one of Matt Smith. This, oh, is that inside out, that one? Oh, hang on, these are all like inside each other. There's like a Silence, a Smiler. Oh, this Davros one, that's an absolute. Oh, hold on, have I like. Look at it. Davros. Silent, Smiler, Cyberman, Weeping Angels. So genuinely, if anyone gives me a super chat during the stream, I will put one of those masks on for a bit. There we go. Set the bar now. I may come to regret that. Anyway. The matter at hand. We have Miss Hartigan, don't we? Miss Hartigan. Cool, it's taking a while to load this one. Now, trivia. Who can tell me in the chats which other fairly recent Doctor Who episode was filmed basically like in the same location as some of the next Doctor? Like a stone's throw away, you know. Who can tell me, I wonder? Yeah, these are fantastic, these photos. God love them. Got to love them. Gloucester. It is indeed. Pardon me. It is indeed Gloucester. Gloucester Cathedral. J.W. Newell went to Gloucester this week and didn't know that Doctor Who had filmed at the cathedral. A holiday soon turned into location scouting. Oh, fantastic. Funny enough, I was in... Well, not... Yeah, I sort of drove through Gloucester the other day. Didn't stop at the cathedral, but went past it. That was fun. I've been there in the past, but like before Fugitive of the Doom was filmed there. But yeah, I think less people know that the next Doctor was also filmed basically like in the cathedral grounds, but they don't show the cathedral because like obviously it's meant to be London and not Gloucester. So they deliberately keep the cathedral out of sight. But actually, as you will see in some of the episode still promo pics, which we're going to look at in a moment or two, yeah, you'll see that in some of the photos you can just glimpse the cathedral in the background, like the corner of some of the photos, which is fun. Ooh. Well, yeah, I mean, like, there we go. Prime example here. Yeah, there's Gloucester Cathedral in the background, and then it's like this yard here that they use for, like this square basically, that they use for the market, right at the start of the story. But like I say, like they deliberately keep Gloucester Cathedral out of shot. And I believe as well, yeah, maybe in like some of the other photos here you have it. There's this place here which is like a alleyway, which again is like very close to the cathedral. Alright, so J.W. Newell is saying that they found out about the filming from the Beatrix Potter house next door. Is there a Beatrix Potter thing in Gloucester? Well, I suppose like the Taylor of Gloucester, or whatever it's called, one of the books, but yeah, I didn't know about that. But yeah, like you say, they also filmed Sherlock in the cathedral as well, as you say. Now, they didn't actually. Well, they sort of filmed it in the cathedral. It was basically in the cloisters of the cathedral, which is like the is it the cloisters? Hold on, am I mixing up my words there? Do I mean the cloisters? Do I mean the cloisters? Hold on, let's check this. Wait, hold on. The crypt, sorry, not the cloisters, the crypt. The crypt. Nope. The crypt, yeah. It's like underneath Gloucester Cathedral, this bit. I went there on a tour once. So it's like all these sort of low ceilings and archways and stuff. And yeah, they filmed The Abominable Bride there. It's the Victorian episode of Sherlock. Basically, the scene near the end of that story. Where like a load of the women rights activists gather together and like explain what's going on, and the bride is there. Can't quite find a photo of the bit I mean, but yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, massive tangent, but yeah. So they filmed The Next Doctor here. They filmed Fugitive of the Jadoon here, and they also filmed Sherlock: Abominable Bride here as well. Gloucester Cathedral. Alright, Block to Flux says, I tried to find the Sherlock location but couldn't find it. Yeah, that's because you can only go into the crypt at certain times, and I think you have to go on a guided tour. So that'll be why. And like I say, it's below the actual cathedral. It's like below ground level. So yeah, that explains why you wouldn't have been able to just sort of wander into it, basically. Ben 10 Omniverse Fan Club is in the chat. Hello. They say they can't wait for the Waters of Mars. Yeah, the specials, series 4, 5 and 6 were your childhood. They were my childhood as well, basically. Yeah, very nostalgic for all those seasons. Very, very nostalgic. And then for this scene, they then moved to a different location. So who can tell me what else was filmed in this location and where it is? Gold star for anybody in the chat who can tell me where this is and what else was filmed here. Because they've used quite a lot over the years, and I'll give you a clue. They've used it, well, sometimes as like other Victorian London settings, and sometimes as like different places entirely, really. But yeah, this was one of them. Jackson Lake, eh? It'd be good to check in with him at some point, maybe like in a Big Finish box set, or I don't know, like a future anniversary special or something. Just go and drop in on him, see how he's doing, see what he did with his life. In fact, that would have been quite nice, like in Anytime Part 2, when they go through all the companions at the end, and they mention Verity Newman, I think she's called, the granddaughter of Joan Redfern. And like through her, we find out how Joan Redfern ended up in the end. That would have been nice if they sort of had a little cameo as well for like a, I don't know, grandchild or whatever, great grandchild of Jackson Lake, just to sort of explain what he got up to in his life and how he ended up, how he died, what he did with himself. I mean, I guess David Morrissey, who played him, is probably a bit too big of a name to bother with Big Finish, but at least at this point in his career. But maybe one day in the future, like that. Never say never. Aha, we have some suggestions. Hold on. We have some suggestions. Gridlock says Hooven Espresso Extra. Correct, yes. So for basically like for the scenes where they have the stalls with the patches, that was shot in this location. And Deep Breath, yes, Deep Breath, Angry Pacifist and Block to Flux, Deep Breath. Start Deep Breath where Madame Vastra is doing her thing. It doubles up as basically the South Bank in London where the dinosaur is. Thin Ice, yeah, I think they did Thin Ice there as well. I think they did. Like, I think maybe for the scene where they have like all of the alien dung out, like the sort of the factory where they're doing the alien dung. I think. Anyway, I'll let you know where it is. It's a place called the Maltings in Cardiff, which I haven't been to yet. Hold on, have I got this right? Yeah. Oh yeah, I haven't. Yeah. It just looks a bit different from the outside. It's basically like some office buildings, I think. And there's like a yard inside which looks particularly like Victorian, which I think is basically why they use it so much. Yeah, so that's where it is. It's quite close to Cardiff Bay. I think it's in there somewhere. I think. But like if you type in what Doctor Who malting, hold on, Doctor Who maltings, wait, not that type of Doctor. No. Doctor Who maltings. No, not that maltings either. Yeah, here we go. Right, yeah, so it's a private location. It is like a block of offices or something, I think. Like a service delivery company. So that is about as close as you can sort of legally get. But yeah, they have some like alleyways and stuff which look Victorian stuff. So they've used it in hold on. Gridlock. Oh, Turn Left as well. The alleyway at the start of Turn Left, like the Chinese sort of planet, like Asian influenced planets where the fortune teller is. Next Doctor, yep. Oh, Good Man Goes to War apparently was in that as well as Victorian London, and yeah, the Thames embankment in Deep Breath. There's some photos there from like behind the scenes. Oops, not there. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the maltings in Cardiff. Emily says, I always loved the Cyberleader design in this episode. Yeah, it's an absolute gem. Love it so much. I know there was some hate for it in the chat from, I think, Red Number 1. But yeah, I've always loved that. You know, it's like the ultimate. It's like the Cyberleader that just has the black handlebars is like sort of down here, and then have the open brain as well, and it's like immediately like goes up like 100%. It's just amazing. So cool. Like the ultimate sort of cyber leader / controller. Yeah. What can I say? A pensive shot of David there. Never seen that one before. And then this fantastic shoot at the graveyard. I mean, this just reminds me of the first trailer we got for this story, which would have been at the end of Journey's End, I think, wasn't it? Where it was literally just like the Cybermen stomping in the snow and... Oh, amazing trailer. I don't think I knew the Cybermen were going to be in it before I saw that trailer, so that was a really exciting moment. I mean, obviously it was the first Cyberman story, a Cyberman Christmas special story. I mean, thinking about it as well now, I guess it was the first time we'd seen Cybermen in the snow since Tomb of the Cybermen, which is quite nostalgic. Yeah. I'm not quite sure if they filmed any other episodes in this graveyard. not entirely sure. They might have done. But yeah, that's a really cool sequence where they all sort of come out of the mist, sort of the white mist, and they just march out of the mist. These sort of silver men. And Miss Hartman, of course, in her sort of striking red dress. Absolutely brilliant. What a fantastic sequence that is. And it actually looks convincing with the snow as well. Then they make it look convincing. Like sometimes, you know, with the snow, you can sort of see around the edges where they've sprayed snow on like one area and then they've not sprayed it like in the background or somewhere. But this really works. I mean, they just look so at home. They look so at home. It's almost a missed opportunity that they didn't do more with that, really. I mean, I guess like in Dark Wars, Death in Heaven, they have Sidemen in the graveyard again. But even then, they just sort of march around a bit. So, yeah. Now, that is an iconic shot of the Cyber Shade. In fact, in the last stream we did, we found the... Here it is, the Cyber Shade mask that they made as part of the Advent calendar on the official website. That was amazing. But yeah, I think that was like the photo when they like announced that the Cyber Shades were a thing and that they were in it. That was the photo that they used. So that's a very iconic one. Two Million Like Head says, Jackson Lake in the Centenary, why not? Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, have him back. Have him back. Have him back. Aha. So I'm just following up on something in the chat here. Oh wow. James Newell said that he took some photos, some shot-by-shot comparisons for the Gloucester filming. I just noticed that in the chat, and I'm looking at them now on his Twitter. Yeah, so that's the archway there as it looks in real life. I remember that from when I went there a few years back. Yeah, and the cathedral square as well. I mean, that looks so much like it did in Fugitive. Because of course the thing about this location as well, which actually you can see from your other photos here. Oh, hang on, that's like a side street, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you can see from this comparison that obviously those buildings in the background are still the same, but the whole of the square in front of it has changed. I think it used to be like a car park or something before, just like tarmacked everywhere, and then more recently they've added in like this nice garden and greenery and stuff and pathways. In fact, anyone that watched the stream we did a couple of months ago now about Doctor Who locations on Google Earth, we went to Gloucester in that stream and we looked at the street view, and I'm pretty sure on the street view of Gloucester at that time, Gloucester Cathedral, it was like out of date. They hadn't got the up-to-date photos of it. But yeah, that's what it looks like these days, isn't it? And then obviously back in the day it was just like a flat sort of surface. Oh, these are amazing. And then the square there, yeah. Wow, amazing stuff. Let's give those some likes. Go and check this stuff out, everybody. I'll link it in the chat. Twitter. Anyway, now's not the time for me to check in my Twitter. Let's resume Next Doctor. We have still got 20 odd people watching this, which is bonkers. Please do leave a like if you haven't already. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. And if you do a super chat or become a Patreon backer in this stream, I will wear one of these wonderful masks for a bit and pretend to be like Davros or someone. But yeah, in terms of the Next Doctor as a story, I kind of like it. I mean, it does get a bit of hate, and I can sort of see why, because like the whole story rests upon this gimmick essentially of like this the Next Doctor, who ultimately isn't the Next Doctor, and you sort of all along you sort of know that he's not going to be the Next Doctor because that's just not how it works. And of course, you sort of reach that point about halfway through where we find out the truth about Jackson Lake, and it's sort of like, okay, so like we've been led at the garden path for half episode for nothing. Which I don't know, it feels like a bit of a sort of waste of time in that sense. But at the same time, it is kind of fun. It's fun to play with that idea of, is this guy the Next Doctor? Like, obviously he's not. But it's a fun concept. And then I like that, by the end of the episode, he gets a sort of chance to be heroic. And the 10th Doctor gets his heroic moment in the balloon, and it's all quite nice. And the Cyber King, of course, is amazing. So yeah, I don't mind this one. I think it's quite a nice little Christmas episode, really. It's quite a nice one. It's nice enough. I mean, it was my first Christmas special, so it's a fun one for me. It holds a special place in my heart. And yeah, it's got some good location work, some good sets. Of course, the Torchwood Hub set was reused for like the factory type place where they build the Cyber King. Fun fact there, so that's fun. I mean, and that adds to this sort of the scale of it as well. It just looks epic. And like I say, you have the Cybermen in the snow. I mean, amazing. That's like instant classic right away. Yeah, so it's. I don't know, it's nothing spectacular, but at the same time, it's just a good, fun, Christmassy episode, really. And there we have the cyber leader. I mean, how can you hate that? How can you hate that? It's amazing. I'd love to see that again, to be honest. Just amazing. Anyway, there are a lot of photos from this story. I don't know if we're going to get onto Planet of the Dead or not when the course of this stream. We shall see. Hang on. Because, yeah, there are a lot of these. I mean, that's a lovely one of the TARDIS there. In fact, one of the things I'd like to do once I've saved all of these promo pics is to, like, make a folder or, like, a collage of the best TARDIS pictures. I feel like that would be a really cool thing to do because, like, that is a lovely one, for instance. There's a screen grabber now, I think. So behind the scenes one. Are these slightly less high resolution? I think they are, aren't they? Well, let's go anyway. Aha, yes. Block to Flux is pointing out that somehow Torchwood exists within the Sherlock universe, thanks to the episode "The Lying." What was it called? Lying Detective, isn't it? The one with like the Jimmy Savile character, essentially played repulsively but excellently by Toby Jones. Yes, there was, as you said, there was a letter on his fireplace, wasn't there, with the Torchwood logo on it. No idea how, but yeah, there is. Hold on. Oh yeah. So we are very nearly at the end of this one. Very nearly at the end. More Cybermen in the snow. Cracky, this still has 24 viewers. I'm surprised people haven't dropped off this really, but we've gone on some tangents and it's been a bit weird, but hey. Miss Hartigan, God love her. She's a fantastic villain. Like, RTD knows how to do like camp villains, and especially camp female villains. So that is something I think that lots of people are looking forward to seeing more of in his second era. I mean, think of Miss Foster, think of the Plasmavore, Florence, whatever she was called, Anne Reed. Think of Miss Hartigan, obviously. Who else? Lady Cassandra, of course. Which other ones have we got? Help. Chocolate. Hello, Alex Rooney. Good to have you with us. We've just reached the end of The Next Doctor. And we've been going for 2 hours. Just about. I am going to continue, I think. Hold on. Alright, the Attack of the Grask folder is literally just that photo. Okay. It would be good to round off some more alternate stuff, wouldn't it? So let's think. Should we do the Infinite Quest just briefly? We might as well. And then we'll finish off with Planet of the Dead, maybe Dreamland 2 if I can be bothered with that one. Yeah, so let's do the Infinite Quest promo pics next. The Infinite Quest. This was a thing that happened. I have watched it. I think just the once, maybe twice. I can't remember, to be honest. But yeah, it's I don't know what else to say about it. Really, I can't remember. It's like a sort of Key to Time-esque thing in the sense like it's like a quest story, as the name suggests. Really, it's nice enough. And there's some promo pics from it, so let's just quickly look through these. I believe actually this was the same animation studios that did one of the missing episode animations back in the day. Like, was it for the Invasion or something like that? I think. little intimate moment there. We've got this woman, pirate woman, David Tennant. Alex Rooney's been spending the day doing a Fugitive Doctor theme tune, by the sounds of it, which sounds very cool. We've got some love for the animations there from Frenic Farm, who says, yeah, Infinite Quest and Dreamland are great. I don't know why people dislike these two great animations. I mean, to be honest, looking back at these photos, it's I do quite like the animation style here, actually. Yeah, maybe I need to go and give it a another look. Because at the end of the day, it's just like some harmless fun, really. It was designed for totally Doctor Who, wasn't it? The show from 2007. It was just, you know, it wasn't maybe anything too groundbreaking or anything. Just like a little fun extra adventure, I guess. And it works as that, you know. It does the job. So yeah, maybe I should give it another go at some point. But now let's go back to TV Doctor Who. Let's do Planet of the Dead. So, Planet of the Dead, obviously the Easter special, the first of the 2009 specials. Famously, this story was filmed like in the January and February, and then it was broadcast in the April, so it was a very quick turnaround. I think it's the quickest ever turnaround for a modern Who story, at least in terms of like the sort of primary like principal photography dates for the main period of filming. Very, very quick turnaround for this. And I believe the reason why it was left so late was because of David Tennant's commitments to the Royal Shakespeare Company in 2008. That's why they couldn't film it any earlier than they did. Now again, you know, like the Next Doctor, this is a story which I don't mind. It's nothing too groundbreaking, but I do remember at the time being quite excited for it. Like this whole idea of like this sort of sandy desert planet was really cool, and the whole idea of a bus being there, like a red British bus, and yeah, you know, I was down for it back in the day, and I think watching it back, it is a bit sort of, I don't know, like a bit naff, but at the end of the day, it is a story that I was excited for back in the day, and I think it works well enough as well, like a sort of Easter special, like almost like a sort of movie you might put on Easter Day or Christmas Day or whatever, a holiday special basically. But first of all, these photos, I don't know if anyone else remembers, but if you were around back in 2008 or 9 when this was announced, obviously you had a separate companion for each of the specials, a new companion in the case of Next Doctor, Planet of the Dead, and The Waters of Mars. And yeah, these photos, or like one of these photos, I think it was that one maybe. That is the photo that was like with the press release, which announced Michelle Ryan's casting. And I've always thought it looks really weird because it's clearly taken with like a flash or something, so it has this really weird like artificial looking effect to it. The lighting is really strange, but then it's also very nostalgic for that reason. In fact, we might even be able to find the original like the original press release for that. I wonder. hold on. Latest bulletins. I bet it probably could, you know. If we go back to... Hold on. Dreamland blog. Apparently there was a thing where you could post your thoughts about Dreamland on a blog somewhere. No idea that was a thing, but hey. And there's a thing announcing the third series of Sarah Jane. But yeah, surely somewhere here there must be... Oh, here we go. Here's all the stuff. Yeah, here we go. All aboard for the next special. The BBC has confirmed that Michelle Ryan and Lee Evans will guest star in the forthcoming Doctor Who Easter special, which began filming this week in Wales. And yeah, there you had the image that was released. There we go, there it is. And here's on about the filming. The BBC has confirmed that part of the forthcoming Doctor Who special will be filmed in Dubai. There's some behind the scenes photos from the filming. Yeah, it was an exciting time, it was. Oh yeah, and of course the first episode filmed in HD as well, as Emily says there. Ironic that I was eating an Easter egg right now. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I do have a soft spot for this one, to be honest. I mean, I think, like I say, I was really excited for it in the lead up. In fact, this is where I bought my first issue of Doctor Who magazine. The issue that was advertising this special. It had a load of exclusive photos in it from Planet of the Dead. And yeah, I didn't read the article, but I loved looking at the photos. It was just amazing. I was like 9 years old at the time, or 8 or whatever, so you can't blame me really. But yeah, it was really exciting back in the day. And of course now, you know, what, like, how many years? 13 years later, we're getting a second ever Doctor Who Easter special with Legend of the Sea Devils. So it's that similar sort of feeling now, I guess. Anticipating that story. But yeah, I think the location work is amazing and really... It's sort of like ahead of its time, really, because, like, they go abroad a lot more, well, up until Flux. They went abroad for, like, the Ghost Monument and stuff like that for alien planets. Or, like, Tenerife as Gallifrey or whatever, as Skaro. And I guess, on the one hand, they could have just filmed this, like, in some sand dunes in Wales somewhere, without having to spend all the money going out to Dubai and wrecking a bus in the process. But you know what? It lends a certain quality to it, you know, having those blue skies and the sun and the heat and just the whole vibe to it. It's good. I like it. And I love all these photos as well, you know, with the bus, with the Doctor and Lady Christina. Mad to think that she still does stuff for Big Finish. She's got her own audio series and she's still making stories. Absolutely mad. Can't say I've listened to them myself, but hey, I guess some people might like them. Oh dear. course, one of the precursors to the Sonic sunglasses as well. And isn't there someone? Is it this dude or someone else? Like one of the guest cast who went on to be really famous, or is it this dude? I think one of the young men in this story went on to be quite famous. Did they? Am I imagining that? I mean, to be honest, all round, I think most people would agree that the guest characters in this story are like the sort of budget versions of the Midnight guest cast, really. But with the best one in the world, they're not sort of anything too special. And you don't get to spend as much time with them because obviously, like, halfway through the episode, the Doctor and Lady Christina just go off and do their own thing, really. But they're nice enough. They're just not particularly memorable characters. But then I suppose they don't really need to be, in a sense, because they are just, like, at the end of the day, like, passengers on a bus. And, like, not everybody on a bus is going to be a particularly memorable person. Anyone who's ever been on the bus will know that. But yeah. Back in the studio there, I think, isn't it? With the backdrop there, you can see the difference. Yes, overall, I don't mind this one. I'd quite like to rewatch it, actually. Maybe because Easter's coming up, I'll give this one a rewatch sometime soon because, yeah, just to remember, if nothing else, to remember what it felt like back in 2009 when this was about to be on. I mean, Carmen actually is the exception there in terms of the guest cast. She is a fantastic character. Love her with her sort of prophecies and stuff. It's a bit bonkers, it's a bit stupid, but it was also really cool to have her like prophesizing about the 10th Doctor's song ending and all that sort of stuff. There's a load of photos for this one. Fantastic shot there of Tennant. And another slightly bizarre one there of him. Slightly close angle there of Tennant. Angela, God bless her, trying to drive the bus away. I mean, look at that. That is, you know, that's not something you can find in Wales. You know, that is worth going abroad for. That landscape there. Daniel Kaluuya. That's right, he won Best Actor or Supporting Actor at the Oscars last year, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That was him. I knew there was someone there. I think I remember reading in that Doctor Who magazine issue that I mentioned, which came out like before this story was on, there was an interview with him, and I think in that interview he mentions auditioning for a part in The Doctor's Daughter as like the soldier that imprisons her and that she kisses to like get the keys off him and to get out of jail. I think because there's like a quote where he says, "I nearly kissed the Doctor's daughter," I think, in that interview. So yeah, fun fact. Oh, of course, the Tritivores as well. You've got to love them. They're so cool, these guys. I mean, they're a budget alien. It's like the Ood all over again, like, you know, a monster in an overall with, you know, some hands and a headpiece. But they are really cool, you know. Yeah, justice for the Tritivores. Bless them. I hope the guys in the outfits for these monsters weren't too hot inside their costumes. I don't know, this photo I do remember seeing of Michelle Ryan with the lights in the background. I've got a strange memory of seeing this photo and thinking she was like in a, I don't know, like in some a party somewhere or a nightclub or something, with like lights in the background. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. But obviously it was the Triforce spaceship. I feel like overall I'm a bit hazy on this story, like in some of the locations and stuff. I need to go back and watch it again, I think. Because, yeah, I mean, the Triforce ship was a pretty cool set. Lee Evans, of course, is Malcolm. Amazing character. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Oh, and then we have all these ones of them kissing, because that was a thing that happened with all of the 10th Doctor's companions for some reason. Yeah. The stingrays as well. God, I forgot the stingrays were a thing. I mean, I suppose it's because they're only ever like oh, hang on. Yeah, I think they're only ever CGI, aren't they? But then one gets into the Triforce ship at some point, doesn't it? But yeah, they were cool because, like, I remember at the time they were in the trailers and stuff, and they were sort of bigged up as this big scary monster, and yeah, I think that's sort of a forgotten monster, really. The stingrays, they are really cool. I mean, they don't do much, but they are really cool. Yeah, there's a load of photos here and loads that I haven't seen before either, which is great. I mean, look at that. That is fantastic. But one thing that I appreciate now as a sort of adult, knowing more about how Doctor Who is made and how TV is made and stuff, is like, it must have been quite a challenge to hide the footprints and stuff from like the crew members in the sand, because like if you were walking all over the set, obviously you would leave footprints, and they must have had to like smooth over the ground, so obviously you couldn't see that the crew members had stepped into the sand there. But yeah, that is a super shot. Super. Triforce there. Lady Christina de Souza. And that one there, and finally that one. And are there some behind the scenes photos? There are some behind the scenes photos, yeah. Yeah, this is it over here. Like, look at the look at all these marks, these footprints in the sand and stuff. They must have had to be really careful to not get those in shot when they were filming this. And as well, like, if you've read anything about the behind the scenes of this story, you will know that they had to like contend with sandstorms and stuff, and just generally it was a bit of a nightmare. They had to like wear headscarves and all that sort of stuff, so it didn't go in their lungs, and yeah. Oh, hang on. There we go. Full photo there. So that is Planet of the Dead. So, we've been going for 2 hours and 25 minutes. Do we do Waters of Mars now? I'll leave it for next time. Apparently, the Waters of Mars has even more photos. Yeah, go on then. Let's do Waters of Mars. Let's do it. Let's do it. Also, I'm just remembering there's something I keep trying to keep meaning to do on these streams, which is create a poll, because you can do polls on streams these days. So let's just do a little poll here. There we go. Have fun with that poll. I think it showed up. Has it shown up? Is there now a poll there? There should be a poll. But I can't see the results of it. Oh, there it is. I can. Give us a vote. Which is your favourite 2009 special? Give us a vote in the poll. And in the meantime, we will finish off with The Waters of Mars, which is an absolutely phenomenal story. Absolute god tier story. Amazing. I think I have watched it slightly too many times. And like, it is still a great story, but I have probably overwatched it, you know. But that said, it's still amazing. And I just remember for this the trailer that aired at the end of Planet of the Dead, or whenever it was. Was it end of Planet of the Dead? Yeah, I guess it would have been, wouldn't it? The sort of like coming soon trailer, and it was pretty damn terrifying with the flood, and oh yeah, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And for some reason, I thought the like botanical gardens location here, I thought it was the same place that was in Doctor's Daughter, Messeline, for some reason. Obviously it wasn't, but yeah, 7-year-old, 8-year-old Richard thought those were the same. The Waters of Mars is winning our poll with 73% of the vote. What about an I can't decide option? Yeah, I've been meaning to do polls for a while. I saw someone else do one in the past on the live stream, so. Yeah, Alex Rooney says, The Waters of Mars freaked me out when I was a kid. I was 8 when it aired. Don't think I slept that night. Yeah, I mean, I think I was how old was I? I was 9 when this one aired. I was 9 in a couple of months, and it didn't actually give me nightmares, but it did freak me out big time. Um, it's a very freaky episode. Very, very freaky. I mean, the flood are so scary. They're the most scary Doctor Who monster. No, there, I said it. They just are. They are absolutely terrifying. And yeah, okay, admittedly now, like watching it back, I can sort of see the joins a bit, and you can sort of tell it's like a prosthetic around the mouth, and that have like they've got themselves rigged up to all these water tanks and tubes going up their arms and stuff to have the water effect. But even so, knowing how it works and knowing how they did it doesn't make it any less frightening, really. Because they just look so horrific and horrible and oh. Rebecca Lake says End of Time is overrated. There, I said it. Well, End of Time. We'll get onto that either. Well, probably in the next stream. I don't know. It depends how long this one goes on for. But yeah, lots of votes. Waters of Mars got 69% of the votes. Clear winner there. So that is all of the general poster art and stuff. There's some behind the scenes photos there as well. They're interesting. I haven't seen these before. Graham Harper, of course, the man, the myth, the legend. In fact, that's a nice segue because I will be seeing Graham Harper next Saturday. Not personally on a one-to-one basis, but at the BFI Revelation of the Daleks screening and event. I'm going to be going to that with Miles next Saturday. Don't suppose anyone watching this will also be going, but if you are, then let me know. But yeah, Colin Baker's also going, Nicola Bryant and Graham Harper, so that should be fun to go and hear him talk about life and stuff. My stomach is rumbling, apologies. There we go. Crikey, yeah, there's a lot of photos here. But it's the Waters of Mars, so hey, we've got to do it, haven't we? Let me just check. We have still got 20 people watching this. Wow. Wow, I mean, it is the Waters of Mars, to be fair. So, yeah, that is reason enough to tune in. So, if you haven't yet liked this video, please leave a like. It costs nothing. Something which does cost something is a super chat, and it'd be lovely to get one in this stream if anyone feels like doing that. But of course, I'm not going to beg for them. But if you do give me a super chat, anyone, I will wear a mask for a bit. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, vote in the poll if you haven't already. I think we've had like 14 votes. Which was the best of the David Tennant specials? I mean, look at this. It's just absolutely terrifying, isn't it? Absolutely terrifying. It's an apology to have just given anyone nightmares, but it just is. It's the blackness inside the mouth and the cracked lips and the what do we call it? The lenses, it's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Just so scary. It is so scary. So horrible. Yeah, Gallifrey Falls No More says the Flood would make an amazing figure. I really hope we get one at some point. It was prototyped. It was prototyped. They showed it off in like a documentary on one of the DVDs. Yeah, there we go. Never got made. Really wish it had, because that would have been so good. I'm praying this gets released and to be an M set one day, because it would just be amazing, wouldn't it? It'd be so good. It'd be so good. But yeah, in terms of the figures from this story, the reason that we didn't get more figures from the specials, I believe, is twofold. So, number one... Hold on a minute. Sorry, it's checking to me. Number one, there was a thing with the Cyber Shade. They made a Cyber Shade prototype figure, which I believe is now in the possession of Gary Russell. And the reason that figure didn't get made was because the prototype they made was of a Cyber Shade standing up. It's like it couldn't crouch down or anything. I don't know if I can find the photo of it. Hold on. Just try and find the photo of it. Oh, I think the image is gone. I can't find it anyway. But yeah, they made a prototype Cyber Shade, and the reason they couldn't sell it, I think, or they decided they couldn't do anything with it, was because no one on the production team had cared to tell them that the Cyber Shades like crouch down, they don't stand up straight. And then as for anything else, I think the reason we didn't get stuff like the Triforce and the Flood and stuff, I think it was literally just because there were fewer episodes in 2009, and so the retailers didn't quite want them as much, and you know, I guess like in terms of the figures and stuff, it peaked in 2007 or 8 really, and then yeah. But who knows? One day, online exclusive with Flood or something would just be amazing. Oh my goodness, we have a super chat from 2 Million Like Head, and it's £2, so it's very on brand. Well, 2 Million Like Head, thank you so much for that. Use this to bribe CO to release a Waters of Mars 3-pack. God, I wish. But I'm going to stay true to my word, because I said if we got a super chat in this stream, I would wear a mask. So, which one is it going to be? I mean, my favourite of these masks is the Davros mask. But obviously all of these were designed for children, so that's not going to fit me, sadly. I can hold it up to my face like that and pretend to be Davros. But it's not really going to work, is it? So, how about... Weeping Angel, maybe? Is that going to fit on me? This is the content that you subscribed for. There we go. Does that work? Hold on, where's that? Let me do further that way. Right, where's the eye hole? There it is. Cool. Yeah. So, the flood. I hope the audio quality hasn't changed because my mouth is now behind a mask. I hope it still sounds okay. We're getting some requests for the Matt Smith mask. Look, all I'm saying is super chat. No jokes. If I get bored, I'll switch to the Matt Smith mask. Where did we get up to then? Oh yeah, there we go. Maggie, God love her. She was in Years and Years. Not Years and Years. Yeah, she was in Years and Years, wasn't she? I didn't mean Years and Years. She was in Years and Years, the actor. Sharon Duncan Brewster, is she called, I think? Hold on. I'm slightly annoyed by the fact that my ear is showing. But I don't think I can do anything about it because if I move the mask across, then I can't see properly. God, this must look so stupid. Oh well. Lovely lens flare there. I mean, Lindsay Duncan, what a fantastic actor, just generally. And we were so lucky to have her in Doctor Who. We've got a couple of questions in the chat. Yeah, fire away with your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm just hold the bottom of the mask there, so my voice isn't completely concealed. I mean, look at that. That is just absolutely terrifying, isn't it? That is the stuff of nightmares and horror films. Image of an angel, guys. Yeah, image of an angel. Wasn't she in Dune recently too? I haven't watched Dune, so I don't know, but she might have been. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's just absolutely terrifying. It is so scary. Horrible. Where was I up to? I was up to that, wasn't I? Now, Joe Plum had a little thought there about the character online exclusives. Joe says, do you think that because the second Doctor of Snowman TARDIS and the recent Warriors Deep set were 6 months apart in terms of release, do you think we may get a second online exclusive later this year? Yeah, I think that's very possible. I'm glad that they ramped it up a bit because, you know, it's basically like a year or like 10 months between the Jungles of Mechanus set and the TARDIS set last year. And then obviously this Silurian set's come around a bit quicker than that. So, you know, something every 6 months or so would be great in terms of the online exclusives. And let's just hope that they can keep that up, really, you know. Super. I mean, just look at it. It's absolutely terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Right. It's just, ugh, it's horrible. It's so bad. Oh no. Apologies to anyone who is about to go to sleep after they've finished watching this, because you might find it hard to sleep tonight after that. But what a fantastic image, though. What a fantastic image. Look, I'm going to take this off a bit now because I'm kind of a bit uncomfortable. But that was an experience. I wish I could wear the Davros one, but it's just too small. Well, there's not enough elastic on it. But let's just give this Matt Smith one a go, because I know that there were some requests for Matt Smith. Oh, I just broke it. Okay. That's not going to happen. Damn. Never mind. I'll hold it up to my face. There we go. Hello, I'm Matt Smith. Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? I don't know if any of these other masks will actually fit on me or not. I mean, the silent one is knackered. What about this Sideman one? That looks fairly loose. Oh, in fact, it's inside out, is it? I think I put it inside out because, like, it was all it was a bit sort of misshapen, so I put it inside out to try and fix it. I think it's worked, actually, to be fair. Let's see. We've had 20 people vote in our poll. 70% think the Waters of Mars is the best special. And we've got 15 viewers still. So if you haven't left a like or voted in the poll, please do so. There we go, that's quite nice. That fits quite comfortably actually, because it's got a little hole in the mouth as well, which is a bonus. I'll be a Cyberman then for the rest of the stream. There we go. Wait, why does my ear keep showing? There we are, right. So, what was Mars? Where were we? Just sort of my vision. My vision is impaired. I cannot see. Oh yeah, we're up to that beauty. I saw there was a comment from Emily about the Weeping Angel figures. Yeah, it's a reference to my my figure collection video that I released today. Go and check that out if you haven't already. That was released to celebrate 7,000 subscribers. And Emily says that she hadn't realised there was a weeping version of the hologram or looped or projected or whatever you want to call it angel, the transparent one from series 5, until watching that video. So yeah, there's a basically there's one that's weeping and there's one that's screaming, because character options love to make pointless variants. I think they were both released single-cardedly. I think as well, one of them, and I feel like it was the weeping one, but don't quote me on this, but one of them was released in the B&M sets, which also had the 11th Doctor in, and it also had the other angel that's like sort of grey and purpley and a bit reddy as well. The one that I've got on my like Series 7 display. Belly base one, people. Okay, it's actually quite hard to see this through these eye holes. I'm doing my best. Where we get up to? Gadget. Yeah, someone said a while back in the chat I saw that it would be really great if they did a gadget figure. Can you imagine? Someone should do that, like a 3D printed gadget figure. Okay, I'm going to take this off now because it's actually quite annoying. It fits on quite comfortably, but the eye holes aren't particularly massive. So, yeah. That was fun. I might try and fish out as well for the next stream. I've got like some of the ood masks they did. They did like ood tentacles, which you could have around your mouth. Might try and do that at some point. Craig, we've been going now for 3 hours. My God. Crikey. Let's just finish off this episode and call it a day. Longest ever stream, eh? Then again, I suppose it sort of makes up for the lack of stream last week, doesn't it? But it's annoying because we still haven't done End of Time, and yeah, we'll have to do that at the start of the next stream. I mean, what can I say? They are just utterly, utterly terrifying, aren't they? Utterly terrifying. I mean, the one bit where they're not quite so terrifying is actually in this scene where they're running across that corridor and they're like... And they look a bit stupid, to be honest. Not gonna lie. That was like the one moment in the story where they look a bit naff. But the rest of the time, when they're dribbling and they're firing water out their hands and stuff, it's just horrible. In fact, this is reminding me, I think there's a movie mistake in this episode, and it concerns this character, Maggie. I think there's like one shot where they cut away from her and then they cut back to her, and her hair is different between the two shots. So I think like in one of them it's straight down like that, and then in the other one maybe it's like a bit more out to the side, wet. I don't know. There's something like that. Where her hair is different, a continuity error. Right, let's quickly power up through these last ones. Final couple of minutes. Final call for people to like this video. If you're watching live, or if you're watching it back on replay, if people actually do that, then hey, give us a like, please, if you haven't already. Please subscribe if you haven't already, though I guess most people have, because you have to have subscribed to put a message in the chat these days on these streams. Final call for super chats and stuff as well, if anyone else feels like sending something my way. But if not, then just send a like, that's fine, you know. Likes are cool. And send a message in the chat as well. And then, yeah, we will call it a day once I've got to the end of these, because even I'm starting to feel a bit tired. Oh my goodness. Longest ever stream, eh? But I mean, it's a great story. I couldn't, I couldn't miss this off, because it was it's a super story. David Tennant there. It's a nice shot of Tennant. Joe Plum says, favourite action figures and favorite action figure, sorry, singular, and why. God, it's such a difficult question. And I should know because I've just done a video about all of them, haven't I? Just off the cuff. Vesper form is an obvious answer, but it's not like a proper figure. It's like a deluxe figure. In terms of Daleks, the Alpha Dalek I really love. I really love that one. And I don't know really. The Resurrection Supreme I got recently as well. I really love that one in terms of Daleks. In terms of like humanoid figures, or maybe something like oh gosh, I don't know, help. I love the fourth Doctor variant from the robot set. That one's really grown on me. But in terms of monsters, I'd probably have to say, what would I say? Maybe, it's not so difficult. Maybe something like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I mean, maybe, well, they're all great. Like the Ood are great. The Sontarans are great. The Clockwork Droids are pretty good. I mean, they don't have as much articulation as you know, as they might have otherwise had, but they're good. The Sycorax as well. I mean, again, not particularly well articulated, but they're very nice figures to look at. I think my favourite classic monster, aside from like the Axon figure, because that's like a deluxe one, would probably be maybe something like the Ice Warrior or the 60s Cybermen. I don't know. I genuinely don't know, to be honest. Aha, a rare photo there of Gadget in the TARDIS. Gotta love it. And Tennant doing his little sort of epic little stroll to the camera there with the fire. And that's a great photo. That's so good. The Waters of Mars. And last but not least, we have this one here. When it loads. There we go. That is the last photo. Well, there we have it, ladies and gents. There we have it. We have been going for 2 hours and 56 minutes. Oh my gosh. This has been a long stream. But I do hope you've enjoyed it. I mean, just very briefly, let's just touch on the end of time. Just as a preview for next time. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. But that is for next time, because I literally cannot. I don't have the energy to do any more today. 3 hours is enough. So. Let me leave you tonight with. Not that one. I'm gonna leave you with this flood monster here. Just to give you some nightmares tonight. And I'm going to end the poll. So, Waters of Mars was the winner, obviously, for the poll. Yeah, how are there still 16 people watching this? This is bonkers. Well, look, I hope you've enjoyed this. We've got through a crazy amount of stuff tonight. We've got through the Library two-parter, Midnight, Turn Left, Stolen Earth, Journey's End, Next Doctor, Planet of the Dead, Waters of Mars, and The Infinite Quest. And yeah, next time we will resume. We'll cover The End of Time briefly, and then move on to Series 5, I guess, and do some 11th Doctor stuff, which will be great. Not sure, 100% sure if there'll be a stream this time next week, just because of being at the BFI on the Saturday. Not sure how that will all work out in terms of getting back, but if there's not one on Sunday, then it'll probably be like the Monday or something else, you know. So yeah, but yeah, that's all to look forward to sometime next week. If not Sunday, then another day next week. So goodbye to you all. Goodbye, Red Number 1, Whovian Espresso Extra, Doctor Master, Universe Archive. Thank you for your great work on the site as ever, Emily and Owen. Thank you, and I will leave you with this lovely photo to give you some nightmares tonight. Well, thanks everybody, and goodbye for now.